allowed a professional athlete to be assaulted on national television. This is not only a bad look for the sport of basketball, this is a bad look for the red, white, and blue. And I'm here to tell you, bro, we're 250 years in. This is an anniversary year. Trump has to say something. I mean, we got international reporters talking about an American athlete being chokeslammed and pretty much assaulted on national.
That one moment changed everything. A professional athlete got hit hard right there on live TV. And no, this isn't some exaggeration anymore. Big names are talking about it now. Fox News, Sky News Australia, international outlets. Everyone's covering what happened to Caitlin Clark. This isn't just a basketball story anymore. Not even close. It's turned into something bigger. A real conversation about safety at work, about what we let slide on national television, and whether the WNBA has lost the plot during what was supposed to be its biggest season ever. Here's the part that stings the most. The league handed out a one-game suspension to Alyssa Thomas. 1 game for a forearm to Clark's throat while she was already down on the floor. Think about that for a second. If that happened anywhere else outside an arena, people would call it assault. Plain and simple. And the message this sends, loud and clear. Go after Caitlin Clark and you'll barely get a slap on the wrist.
Indiana Fever veteran Sophie Cunningham, who went viral over her finger wagging over this latest incident, is trashing the WNBA for allowing her teammate, Caitlin Clark, to get targeted repeatedly. And then the league apparently really doing nothing to stop it.
This type happens every single game to her, and the league and the refs do absolutely nothing about it. They're definitely targeting her, and the league and the refs do nothing to protect her.
The WNBA wants a pat on the back for what? Suspending Alyssa Thomas, who did the big fist to the neck thing, for 1 game. That's not going to stop anyone from doing anything.
According to her, this isn't rare at all. It happens every single game, not once in a while, not just when emotions run high. Every game, without fail. And the referees, they stay silent every time. Here's where things get wild. Instead of support, Sophie is getting slammed online, just for a small finger wag. Some are even throwing around the word racist for it. Pause for a second and think about that. A player calls out a clear, obvious foul, and she becomes the target. Not the one who threw the forearm, not the officials who missed the call completely. Her. That right there tells you everything about the situation we're in. Speak up against violence, and somehow you catch more heat than the person who actually caused it. And keep in mind, this is Sophie Cunningham. She's tough. She plays physical herself and never shies away from contact. So, when someone like her says players aren't being protected, that hits different.
To that league, and they're letting her get pummeled. What is going on here? Here to weigh in is Dan Dockich, host of Outkicks. Don't at me. Dan, why isn't the WNBA doing more to protect?
Oh, yes. Did you guys hear him? The WNBA referees are allowing Caitlin Clark to be assaulted. What did I just tell you? This is turning into an American problem, bro. And I'm telling you right now, they're going to try to say this is a race thing. This has nothing to do with race. This is a WNBA referee thing. Now, Dan Dockich is a person that has been very critical of Caitlin Clark this whole season. Stephanie White is his friend.
Now, here's the part that's uncomfortable to talk about. Dan Dockich said something on Fox News that a lot of people have been thinking privately, but no one in mainstream sports media wanted to say out loud. He went straight after the WNBA's leadership. His words, let's just say they were blunt. He claimed the league's power structure resents the fact that a popular white straight woman is dominating the spotlight. Now look, those are heavy words, loaded words. But here's the twist. You can't just brush it off as prejudice when the numbers start backing parts of a story up. Let's talk facts for a second. During Caitlin Clark's rookie season, the WNBA crossed 1 million viewers for a single game. Not once, not twice, but 23 times. And get this, in the previous 16 years combined, that number was hit exactly 0 times. She played in 20 of those 23 record-breaking games. That's not luck. That's not hype from the media. That's real measurable impact. And it gets bigger. One economic report found she's responsible for 25% of the entire league's revenue and economic activity. One single player, a quarter of the WNBA's total value.
Lesbians. That's a big deal in the WNBA. And if anybody gets offended by what I'm saying, go sit in the corner. Tough, because that is absolute. And it started the moment Caitlin Clark got into the league. And you know what else? You know what, Laura? It's all cowardice. It's all hits from behind like the first one, Kennedy Carter, a poke in the eye when she shoots a jump shot, going to the throat when she's already down. You know, it's one thing, you get a hard foul going to the rim, but these women have been cowards to Caitlin Clark, and it's ridiculous, but the WNBA doesn't do anything because they are afraid of the angry African-American lesbian woman who has dominated that league for years.
And there's suggestion that the mere Sophie's pointing at the young woman who put the fist down, her point was racist. So now you can't point when you see injustice. Only one.
Now, here's where things start to connect. Doik brings up something interesting. His wife coached softball for 30 years, and she called this exact situation before it even happened. According to her, some women in sports struggled to watch another woman rise this fast, this big. Now, before anyone jumps to conclusions, let's actually look at what's happened so far. Angel Reese's comments about Clark, Diamond Carrington's activity online, Kennedy Carter's hard hip check, and then there's that comment Diamond made when Team USA was announced. These aren't random, unrelated moments. These are players who don't even know each other personally. Yet the pattern keeps repeating. And no, it's not about race because the league has celebrated white stars before. Players like Breanna Stewart or Sue Bird. It's also not simply about sexuality since players like Brittany Gurrier are widely embraced too. So then what is it really? Ditch's answer: jealousy mixed with resentment. Resentment that someone from outside the league's usual circle is suddenly getting all the attention and all the money. And when you line up everything that's happened over the past 3 years, it's tough to disagree. The pettiness has been obvious. Remember when she was left off an anniversary poster celebrating the league's growth? The same growth she personally fueled? That wasn't a mistake. That looks intentional.
Physically pounded because women in sports don't want to see other women succeed to the level that Caitlin Clark is. There is so much pettiness. There is so much jealousy. But the undercurrent of the entire thing from the WNBA side and from the player side is racist and sexism. She's heterosexual. She's white. They can't stand that she has this popularity. And we've seen it for 3 years now.
Do you think she's going to stay in the league the way she's being treated and why this is going?
Laura, I always think about it. I'm old enough to be her father, and if I were her father, we'd have to look at some options because this is absurd. I don't think the Fever, I'm in Indianapolis, I've been very critical of the Fever front office. They haven't protected her. They haven't done anything. They haven't been out.
Here's where things start to feel even messier. Dage says if he were her father, he'd be looking at real options right now. And honestly, it's hard to blame him because we're watching a team and a whole league fail to protect their biggest star. The Indiana Fever front office. Silent, no statements, no pressure on the league, not even willing to eat a fine for calling out bad officiating. Nothing at all. Compare that to how the NBA handles things. Someone takes a cheap shot at LeBron or Steph Curry and boom, coaches get ejected. Teammates step in, front offices speak up. There are real consequences. But in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark takes a hit to the throat while she's already on the ground. And the team's response is basically, well, that's just physical basketball. That's not protection. That's abandonment. And Dage brings up something even bigger. The officials aren't protecting her either. We've seen it happen again and again. Hits that would be flagrant fouls anywhere else. And the whistle just doesn't come. That's not a mistake. That's a pattern. And patterns like that don't happen by accident.
The ongoing situation with WNBA league star Caitlin Clark is absolutely unbelievable. Now, Clark is basically the star of this league, and she has been on the receiving end of an increasing number of blatant fouls that, as far as I'm concerned, look a lot more like assault than legitimate gameplay. And others have been absolutely shocked by the poor treatment Caitlin Clark has received from her very own league, despite her being the big star, the big draw card that makes them all the money. They even excluded her from a recent anniversary poster. And now, her fellow player, Sophie Cunningham, has called out Caitlin's treatment, putting the league on blast.
Unfortunately, this type of happens every single game to her, and the league and the refs do absolutely nothing about it.
It's been a minute since you got fined on this podcast.
I have, but then like you see the videos of like literally kneeing and cheap shotting C in the throat. Like if she did that to any of our teammates, we'd be. But like they're definitely targeting her, and the league and the refs do.
Here's something that should stop you in your tracks. An Australian news network, a channel that has nothing to do with American basketball, just ran a full segment breaking down foul calls in the WNBA. Think about that for a second. They're showing clip after clip of hits taken by Caitlin Clark to viewers who probably can't name 5 other players in the league. And their conclusion, the same one everyone else keeps landing on. This doesn't look like basketball. This looks like assault. The host on that segment even admitted she's not a fan of the sport, but said you don't need to be an expert to know talent when you see it. And that's exactly the point. You don't need years of WNBA knowledge to watch a forearm land on someone's throat while they're already down on the floor and know something is very wrong. That's not a basketball play. That's retaliation. And when the league's punishment for it is a single game, they're basically telling everyone watching that it's fine. Now, let's get into the numbers because this is where things stop being an opinion and start being a fact. Clark is on the receiving end of 17% of every single flagrant foul called across the entire league. Let that number sit with you. There are over 140 players in the WNBA. One of them, just one, is absorbing almost 1 out of every 5 flagrant fouls handed out all season. If that's not targeting, somebody needs to explain what targeting would actually look like. Even people who cover other leagues for a living are stunned by it. Analysts who admit they've barely watched 5 minutes of WNBA basketball are looking at these stats and saying there's no other explanation. She's being targeted, plain and simple. And the response some people give is almost worse than the silence. Race gets brought into it. Some players and analysts have openly wondered why a white player is getting so much attention. But here's the answer nobody wants to say out loud. She's getting the attention because she might be the best player in the league. In only her 3rd year, sitting 4th in scoring and 2nd in assists across the entire WNBA. Now, here's the part that really exposes what's going on. Before Clark stepped onto a WNBA court, the league went 16 straight years without a single game hitting 1 million viewers. 16 years, 0 games. In her rookie season alone, that number was hit 23 times. And she personally played in 20 of them. That's not a coincidence you can explain away. That's cause and effect. And it didn't stop there. A massive new broadcast deal got signed. Attendance shot up across the entire league, not just her team. Merchandise is flying off shelves. Players are now flying on private jets instead of commercial flights for the first time in league history. Every single one of those improvements traces back to the attention one player brought with her. She isn't just a talented athlete who happens to be popular. She is the economic engine funding raises for every single player in that league, including the ones throwing elbows at her. So, what should the reaction be? Gratitude, respect, at the very least, professional courtesy. Instead, what we're watching play out in real time looks a lot more like jealousy with a league office that seems too scared of its own player base to actually enforce the rules that would protect its biggest asset. There's a phrase for what's happening here, and it isn't dramatic, it's accurate. They are killing the golden goose. Because if she ever decides this isn't worth it anymore, if she takes her game overseas where she'd be paid more and treated like royalty, the WNBA goes right back to where it started. Empty seats, no television deals, players flying coach, and earning a fraction of what international leagues pay. So, let's connect the dots here because this is bigger than one dirty play or one missed call. This is a league that spent 25 years fighting for relevance, finally found the one player who could change its entire future, and is now watching that player get physically targeted on national television while doing almost nothing to stop it. 17% of all flagrant fouls in the league aimed at one player. That's not basketball variance. That's a pattern. And it's a pattern the officials are enabling through their own inaction. When a forearm to someone's throat while they're on the ground only costs you one game, you're sending a message to every player in the league. Go ahead. Nothing serious is going to happen to you. And here's what makes this so hard to swallow. This is a league that talks constantly about player safety, about building a professional environment, about growing the game the right way. But the moment it actually has to step up and protect its most valuable player from repeated physical abuse, it folds. Why? Because doing something real would mean admitting there's resentment building inside their own locker rooms, and that's a conversation the league clearly doesn't want to have. Think about everything that's piled up over the last 3 years. Snide comments after she made Team USA mockery on social media, physical targeting that started back in college and has followed her straight into the pros, getting left off promotional material celebrating growth that she is directly responsible for. Referees who consistently look the other way when she gets hit. 1-game suspensions for hits that would get a player ejected and benched for weeks in almost any other professional league on the planet. And no, this isn't really about race, no matter how loudly that gets claimed. This league has celebrated white superstars for years. Beloved players, respected legends, absolute royalty in the sport. All white. It's not about sexuality either, because the league has zero problem promoting players who don't fit the narrative. Some people want to push. What this actually comes down to is something far more specific and far more uncomfortable to say out loud. She represents everything a certain part of the existing culture didn't ask for. She's from a small market. She plays a style that looks more like the men's game than the traditional approach. She has mainstream crossover appeal most players in this league have never experienced. And most importantly, she's pulling in attention and money that other players feel should belong to them. When you're the most dominant player college basketball has seen in years, when you shatter viewership records everywhere you go, when you get drafted first overall and instantly flip a franchise's fortunes overnight, the reaction from your peers should be respect. Maybe not friendship, but basic professional respect. Instead, we've watched pettiness, cheap shots, and a league office too nervous about backlash to actually stand up for her. And through all of this, the silence from the people who should be defending her the loudest has been deafening. No public statements, no pressure on the league office, no fines eaten for calling out bad officiating, nothing at all. Compare that to how stars get protected in other leagues where a cheap shot brings immediate consequences, ejections, statements, real accountability. Here, the response has basically been a shrug and a comment about basketball being physical. That's not leadership. That's cowardice, and it's putting the league's entire future at risk. So, here's the real question hanging over the WNBA right now. Every uncalled foul, every 1-aim slap on the wrist, every day this goes unrest is another reason for her to start weighing her options. Options that include leagues overseas paying more and treating her like the superstar she already is. If that day comes, everything this league has built over the last 3 years disappears overnight. If this story made you angry, made you think, or made you want to see real accountability, don't just scroll past it. Like this video, drop your honest opinion in the comments, and share it with someone who needs to see the truth. Hit subscribe so you don't miss what happens next, because this story is far from over.